Hello? Yeah.
Mic check, 1 2 1 2. I do.
That posture is good.
Good posture.
You want to sit back?
Is this okay on the posture?
You're fine.
Okay, go ahead.
All right.
Great.
Number one. Rolling.
Yes, I can.
Yeah, off. Yeah, just turn it off.
Are you getting a good shot there? You want me to put it on?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Come on. Let's go over here. Let me see. What do we got here? We got... Can you... Nope, that's it on that. You're gonna have to do it.
Oh, wow. So look now or forever hold your peace.
I'm just getting you two guys. Is that all right? Sorry, man.
Uh-oh.
He's like, I don't care.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Oh, we're good.
No worries.
Good. Perfect.
I got you.
Excellent.
I got you out there.
Oh no, this is just live. I'm getting.
Oh, on the live.
Yeah. Oh no, I'll get you, bro. I will never forget about you.
Man, that's
I will never forget about you.
We're going live.
Yeah.
Good. You
Yeah,
like-
thank you.
Nah, of course. Thank you.
And of course, phone's on silent.
Yes, sir. It doesn't matter because you're.
Oh yeah.
What's this? This is an iPhone, right?
No, it's an Android.
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, that's fine. Okay. I'm not gonna be that one of those people, all right?
Why?
Well, since you don't want to do it, I'm joking.
Yeah, right.
We're good.
I can double
Yeah.
check the ringer if you want.
Double check.
You good.
Okay.
I'm right here. I'll just.
Okay.
If anything.
Yeah. Are we ready? We're ready. We're ready. Everybody ready? Uh-oh, put your fingers in. Boom!
Wait, can I get that one more time?
That one more.
Uh-oh.
One more time. One
Hold
more time.
on now.
Boom, bring it.
Bring it in.
Boom!
Oh, there it is.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? It's your boy K with the AKA Mr. Getting It Done. This is Getting It Done with your boy, Mr. Getting It Done, Kai Greene. We are here today with a very, very special treat. Now, we're going to normally do what we do, like we try to do, when we get an opportunity to talk to some really interesting people doing some really interesting things, but more importantly, to get an opportunity to share some insight that can help us take a little bit with us as we go on our journey to make other things, more important things, happen in our lives. Right here, we're going to get a really cool treat because right now, we've got International Sports Sciences in the building. We've got representatives from the left, from the right. Now, with that said, your boy is actually an ambassador, but more importantly, we've got the head of the entire International Sports Sciences business department here, my man, Kurt Mangum, and he is going to do some really interesting things. What we're going to do is we're going to talk a little about what we have going on with International Sports Sciences and introduce, without further ado, our winner of the Train with Kai training series. Now, we got an opportunity right here to have Kimberly, our lovely host for the day. And she was with us for everything. We got a chance to do some filming, some training. We got some really interesting things happening because she's got an amazing story that she's going to share with us while we continue to get some insight into what's going on with International Sports Sciences today. So without further ado, what I'm going to do is introduce the lady to my right. I'm going to have her tell you a little bit about herself and what's going on here.
Hi, guys. My name is Kimberly House, and I am here today. I'm so excited, you guys, to be training with Kai Greene. Like, this is amazing. It's a great opportunity. I've been certified as a personal trainer and nutritionist with ISSA, and I'm super proud of that. Super proud for this type of opportunity. super excited for the learning, the growth that I've had in just such a short period of time. Getting the chance to meet people like this, the opportunity to work with people like this, it's been an honor, and I'm just happy to be here. So thank you.
Uh-oh. Well, thank you. Thank you for coming in here and smiling like that. We're going to keep this thing moving. Mr. Ben, are you going to share with us a little bit of a smile and a voice to go along with it?
Absolutely. Kurt Mangum here, head of business development at ISSA. It's an honor to be on the podcast, to be here with Kai, to be here with Kimberly. This is just an amazing opportunity to have Kimberly train with Kai, but also be able to spotlight how we're improving lives and just the impact that sharing wellness has on other people and their clients, and just the impact we're trying to make on the world. So it's definitely an honor to be here, and I'm so excited.
Well, without further ado, now we got a chance to actually get to the gym this morning. We got a chance to open up with some filming. We did a little bit of work. We started with some cardio, and I thought the exercise program today was really cool. I wanted to know if you wanted to share with the people a little bit of some of what you got a chance to share with me when we were on that step mill.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So first of all, it's very easy to share with you. You're a very down-to-earth, open, super cool guy. So, I do share my story often, but it feels good to share it with genuine people that understand where I'm coming from and, really understand just how I've gotten to where I am and why, and the passion behind what I do, because there's a lot of personal trainers out there that do this for the money, for the fun, for the look, but I have a real true passion behind this, and it stems from just me going through a battle with lupus, being diagnosed when I was 25 years old, being told that you have to start taking medication every day for the rest of your life at 25 is it's huge. It takes a toll on your mental, your physical, every aspect of your life, your family, the lives of your family, and just dealing with that and being at one of the lowest point, or the absolute lowest point that I've ever been in my life.
Why do you say that? What for the people at home that don't know what lupus is?
Oh yeah.
What does that mean when a person says, as you have just said very clearly, hey, you know what? I was 25 years old. I was diagnosed with lupus. What does that mean? What does it mean to you?
That's a good question, because when I was told that I had lupus, I was like that as well. What does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean for me? Am I dying? Am I, should I be planning out my death, my will? Like, what's happening with my daughter? What's going on? It's exactly what I asked. And because lupus is under-recognized, and because there's not a lot of information and education, you don't see commercials, you don't see a lot of awareness like you do with things like cancer. A lot of people don't know what it is, so I had to take the time to educate myself and learn that lupus is an autoimmune condition, and most of the time you look just fine. You look just like this. You look like absolutely nothing is wrong with you.
Mm-hmm.
You get a lot of people telling you, well, you don't look sick, you look fine. Lupus is an autoimmune condition that attacks you literally from the tips of your hair to the tips of your toes. I tell people this all the time, because it can affect you from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet and everywhere in between. You get pain, like arthritis-like pain, where you get joint pain, swelling, inflammation, fatigue. You deal with skin rashes, because a lot of people have sensitivity to the sun. And just like I said, at 25 years old, being told that you have lupus, we don't know exactly how it's going to affect you, but to manage it, take all of these medications and hopefully you'll be okay. We'll see what happens. That was hard. That was really hard to deal with.
I would imagine. What was something significant that happened in your life at that time to bring it on, or is it customary?
It does occur to most young African American, Latina, and Asian women within their childbearing years. I did just have a child, and I was a single mother. I think the stress with working full time, having a child, and being a single mom, just the stressors of that probably brought on. I think a lot of us, we deal with, especially when we're not on top of our health, our nutrition, and exercise, and our mental well-being. I think that we have characteristics in our body, whether it be for lupus, for cancer, for any type of disease that stress can bring on. So a traumatizing event, just stress is the silent killer. And I believe that just the stress of dealing with what I was dealing with in my life perhaps brought on lupus. And so my first symptoms were just like I had a low platelet count. So that's something else that happens with people with lupus. It's just within your lab work. I just got little rashes on my legs. And then I remember I woke up one morning and I just could not move my leg. I could not move to get out of bed. And, you know, there were other small things that happened. I kept getting cold fingertips and toes, just having super fatigue. And it's not like a normal just, oh, I'm tired. It's more like I feel like I got hit by a bus type of fatigue. Wow. And just waking up that way. In the morning that I woke up and I couldn't move my legs, I was like, okay, you need to go to the doctor and figure out, you know, what's going on. And from there, you know, a multitude of tests and biopsies. And, you know, fortunately for me, I was able to get a diagnosis within a couple of months. But for most people with lupus, it can take up to years. I've heard people that have been misdiagnosed or dealt with it for 6, 7, 8 years and never receiving a diagnosis. So I was blessed to get an early diagnosis. And just like I said, it was hard. I think your mind is so powerful. People don't understand how powerful our mind is. And you know, when you're 25, I feel like most 25-year-olds, like, we feel like we're invincible. You know, we feel like we can do anything, eat anything, you know, and and nothing's gonna happen to us. So when I was told this, it just hit me hard. It hit me really hard. It brought on a depression that completely deteriorated me mentally, physically. I lost over 30 pounds. I was like super frail. I mean, I'm 5'7" and I was like 95 pounds. So it was pretty traumatizing, including for my family, just to see the impact that it has on your loved ones. And even my daughter at the time, she was 4 years old. I remember her being there by my side, you know, holding my back like, it's gonna be okay, Mom, it's gonna be okay. Her not really understanding and knowing what I was going through, but having my 4-year-old daughter, my mom, my sister, like walking me through every step and being there for me. And honestly, by the grace of God, you know, I got through some of those deep, darkest moments of my life. But what I promised to do was that once I got out of that, I wanted to make sure that no one ever felt that alone. I wanted to make sure that people were educated right away. I wanted people to understand that if I'm feeling these types of pains, maybe I should get this checked out right away. Because what can happen with lupus, if you don't manage it properly, it can attack your organs. I've had many people with lupus that have experienced kidney failure, heart problems, lung issues, seizures. I mean, like I said, it attacks everything, every organ, from your skin to your kidneys, your heart. So if you can recognize the symptoms and you know, get a hold of them right away, that's going to be the key to living a better, healthier life with lupus. So overcoming that and understanding how education, knowledge, experience, and prayer, understanding how that affected me to get mentally right and then focus on my physical.
So when you were first dealing with the diagnosis on the after having been told and going through the darker part of your personal experience with coping with that, once you got to a place when you understood that you could do something within your power to help improve your situation, what was that, and how did you find your way from there into where you are now, to the empowerment part of it?
I think that when you go through different experiences in your life, especially ones where you feel alone or you feel like you're the only person dealing with that, well, for me, I can say that I felt like it was my purpose to make sure that nobody ever felt that way. You know, within my reach and what I was able to do, I wanted to make sure that I created a place where people could come and they could feel like they could vent out, that there was hope. And so I created my organization, Lupus House Foundation, where we do support groups every month. And it wasn't the typical support groups that you come to and everyone just vent and cry and, you know, complain. I made sure that these support groups were meaningful. And so every time you come in, there was a purpose, there was a topic, whether it be skincare, whether it be learning how to make your own non-toxic products, whether it be, we even have a retired disability judge that would come and help people that needed help with figuring out if they wanted to continue working or not. I mean, it's a multitude of topics, from everything positive, so that, yeah, we come in and we vent and we discuss what we're going through, but what are we gonna do about it? You know, like we spoke about earlier, health and wellness. We have this health, this goal that we want, but what are we doing? What are the steps that we're taking to get there? And that was the whole purpose behind the group, to give people a reason, a want, a need, and understanding, and educate them on ways to live a better life with it. So I think that after doing these support groups for 10 years and understanding, you know, how to help people, the drive behind the way people think and things like that, and with, you know, working out being something that it's just been in my spirit, because my mom's always been heavy into working out and running, and how much it helped me. Like, being active was helpful for me mentally, physically, my confidence, like it being physical. I don't think people really understand how much exercise helps you all around.
And you were like that before you discovered the diagnosis.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So once you went through the part of having to accept the diagnosis and crawl through the darker part of that experience, can you describe to me, for the people out there that are listening now, what was it on the road back to? What was it like for you on the road back to the rediscovery of your personal power and the rightful use of it? For you, how did you, and why, what in particular about your experience or discovery on that road into the skill sets, learning how to eat? I understand that you are a certified nutritionist, and that was also something that was prompted, I would imagine, by your experience with your journey. Can you describe for us how you found your way into doing that?
First, I'll say is it was not easy. There are tons of times when I felt like giving up, and I felt like, is this my path? Is this my purpose? Do I want to do this? Do I want to deal with all that it comes with in dealing with dealing with people? Sometimes people can make you feel bad, and it just started with me wanting my life back, me wanting to be able to move the way I did, me wanting to be able to just enjoy a physical activity with my daughter, like take her to Disneyland on field trip. Like, I wanted it so bad. I really wanted to, I guess, feel normal, you know? So, like I said, being in the hospital, literally on my deathbed, and not even being able to walk, being mentally unstable, and by the grace of God, I overcame that. And I say by the grace of God, and I know it was the grace of God, because I was told by the doctor that I wasn't going to make it. And I gave up on myself. And I remember that moment. I remember feeling like, wow, this is it. And I didn't carry myself through that. And neither did my mom, neither did my sister. It was God. So after coming through something like that, where you're at your lowest and you know that you're gonna die, and you come through that, you feel, what am I gonna do with this now? And I knew that I had to get better. I knew that I had to, no matter what it took. And for me, it took me literally learning how to build my strength back up by walking in a pool. Like, I had to be
physically.
I had to be carried into a chair. The chair had to lower me into the pool, and I had to build my strength back up by learning how to walk in the pool, how to get used to kicking my feet in the pool, carrying weights in the pool. It was crazy. I was 27, 28 years old, and I was in this pool therapy class with 60, 70, 80, 90-year-old people, and they're looking at me like, what the heck are you doing here? And I'm like, the same thing as you, like just trying to build my strength, just, just trying to get back, the pains that lupus brings on, it makes it hard for you sometimes just to move. So just building my strength back up and just recognizing that this is not an overnight thing. This is going to take time, and respecting the journey, that journey. A lot of people just want to go from A to Z, and they don't want to take the time to savor in the B, the C, the D, the F. Like all of this part is a part of your journey. Enjoy each of it, the struggles, the hard times, like understanding and just putting the perspective on, I know I want to get to Z, I'm only at B, but guess what? I'm at B, I'm not at A anymore. I'm going to be at C soon, and I might even take a couple steps back and be back at A, but that's okay. That's all right. I'm going to keep going. So just starting literally, when I say started from the bottom, now I'm here, like literally started from the bottom and just working myself up, and just over time, just understanding those type of struggles just really build you, it just really builds you mentally, and it just and I respect it and it just made me realize and think like, wow, you guys, like, look at where I was at. If I was here and I was able to get here, I know you can do it. I mean it may be harder for people, but for me it's and I'm not gonna say it's simple, but if you put your mind to it, you can do it. It's just a matter of putting your mind to it and just wanting it. And like we said earlier, how bad do you want it? And so I guess that I realized what I was able to do with myself, and so now I feel like, hey, if I can do it, everybody can do it. Come on, guys, let's get on this bus. Like, we're all gonna lead a way to a healthier, happier life. We can all do it, So it just really became a passion of mine, and being able to share the things that I share and see how it affects other people. Actually seeing them feel like, wow, I want to share my story too. Wow, I want to start an organization too. Wow, I want to start getting fit. I want to look like that. Wow, and them getting so inspired and then actually making changes in their life to do that. Like, that is literally everything. Like I told you earlier, like, that's everything to me. That is a form of payment for me. Like, I could live my life and do that for people, and I would be like, that would be it for me. That's just, I love that.
So in an effort to take your experience and turn your experience into this crusade that is now obviously a passion for you, what was it that allowed you to think that in an effort to develop some more of those skills to be more effective at sharing your story, but also being able to be equipped with the tools to help others in their way, finding their way towards their better self or their more confident, capable self? What brought you from where you were to a place where you would think about becoming a certified trainer?
Well, it's one thing to have, for me, I feel like experience is everything. But when you have the knowledge, the science behind it, and then you understand the why, you can put those things together, then I feel like you become more effective in your teachings. Yes, I have experience in just, recovering, rehabilitating myself, and stuff like that, but I feel like the education behind me learning about lupus is what helped me overcome a lot as well. I think that for me, going through the whole COVID shutdown, I felt like let me take this time to better myself. And I really like the perspective you gave earlier today about when I asked what your favorite exercise was, and you said, as an athlete, I love all of them because, I have to be good at upper body. I have to be good at chest. I have to be good at calves. These things I have to perfect if I want to be an athlete. And subconsciously, I think that was my mindset. If I want to help people live a healthier, happier life, that's the goal. That's the mission. That's the mission of the foundation. That's the mission with my fitness program. I need to be fully educated, and yeah, I have the experience, but having the certification under your belt, having that type of knowledge, it just makes you feel that more confident in your approach. And, of course, being able to have the certification through a company like this that offers opportunities like this, that I get to meet people like this is just only going to make me a better athlete. This is only going to make me better at, providing my purpose and passion to people.
What was the standout for you in the curriculum that you feel that you pull from now more than ever today with what you do with working with clients?
Oh my gosh, there's so much. Like, I go back to the study guide probably at least once a week, and like I feel like I'm always, because it's one thing, when you read about something, like think about it, when we go through high school and stuff like that, like we're learning all these kinds of things, but if you don't apply them regularly, you forget them. At least I do. I have a terrible memory. But I have to practice something regularly to really finally get it. And so for me, I mean, let's see, with the personal training part, I think learning about different ways to exercise and how much more effective, how much better results you can get if you do exercises more effectively. There were a lot of different like supersetting and things like that I didn't really understand before, and maybe I was doing it but didn't even realize it or whatever. But fully understanding the mechanism, the breakdown, the science behind it, and then implementing it, and then actually seeing the results. One thing I really liked was that we learned with the nutritionist certification is the zigzag method. And so I have a client, and she was doing great in her weight loss. She lost a lot of weight, and we kind of reached a little bit of a plateau. And I remember the zigzag method, and I say, let's try. I never heard of it before.
For the people at home that have never heard of it, just like you were before that, what is that? What is the zigzag method?
So the zigzag method, well, you're going to have to get your certification if you want to know. No, I'm just kidding. No, the zigzag method is, so it kind of, it works where you have, say if you're trying to lose weight, we'll say, and you have a daily calorie deficit of, let's say, 1,800 calories. And so for 3 or 4 days, you eat at 1,800 calories, and then the last 2 or 3 days, you eat at, let's say, 2,400 calories. And so my clients love that because they're like, ooh, I get to eat a lot and eat what I want, at least for 2 or 3 days. And so you kind of trick your body into, because if you stay at this 1,800, your body's going to get used to that. But when you bring it back up to the, let's say, 2,400, your body's like, whoa, okay. And then you go back down. And so it's just like a method to kind of trick your body into not staying or plateauing out at a certain calorie deficit. And it brought, we tried this method for her for about a month, and we saw the most dramatic weight loss in that month. So that was super exciting because I'm like, hey, I'm smart, I learned something, I'm implementing it, and it's working, and my client's happy, and we're getting results. So that was super cool because it was something that I never even knew about before. So that was super fun to see that and to actually work that out with her. And then just like different types of circuits or kettlebell exercises, things like that I feel like I've been able to show the clients and then see the results and see them like it has been great.
Some people would say, hey, you know what, when you're working as a personal trainer or thinking about a lifestyle, where you are working as a personal trainer, say that's just sets and reps and it's all the same thing. What would be an example for you of where you, just like what you just mentioned, where it's not just sets and reps?
Well, I mean, I feel like if you're staying active, that's great, But a lot of times you could be doing an for a perfect example, I know a girl, she told me she joined this 100 squat a day challenge. And she came in and she was like, oh, I'm explaining to her how to do a squat because people do squats, but are you doing them right? You know, and I said, so show me how you were doing them. I'm talking about all wrong, form all wrong, knees coming over her toes. She's looking like, you know, her knees are about to break. I'm like, oh, is that how you were doing it? She's like, oh, yeah, doing my squats. Her back is all bent, you know, just terrible form. I was proud of her, but at the same time, I'm like, you could be doing these challenges or these reps and these sets like nothing, and it ends up being ineffective because you're not even doing them right. You're not doing your form right. You may be causing your body more harm. You might be hurting your knee more, your back more. Next thing you know, you can't do anything. So, you know, having learning the importance of form, learning the importance of preparing properly for a workout. A lot of people think something else that I learned, dynamic versus static stretching. Every single workout that I did, I always did static stretching. You automatically think, and my mom was a runner, so we would go over to, you know, like a table or a chair or whatever, and we would just always just hold the stretch, hold the stretch, you know. And I learned through my training that, you know, dynamic stretching is better to do before a workout. That was something, you know, I didn't know, I would have never known, and I understood the why behind it and how, you know, the static stretching is for after the workout and why. So just little things like that I feel like has brought me to the next level in being able to fulfill my passion and help people.
She is a warrior in fitness, a warrior in overcoming her personal challenges, but more importantly now you serve as that example, and you're able to lead your client and anyone that's able to listen to you into a path of being able to discover a better part of themselves. That's awesome. I again want to thank you for being able to come in here and be willing to share that with us. You are the example of something that's a lot bigger than the physical fitness component. You know, you are the largest part. You represent the largest part of this therapeutic experience that is positive, that is uplifting, that is the thing that is necessary to actually change a life for the better. That is what's up. Big Kurt, I want to bring you in here in this conversation because this is very, very important. If you can, just share with us a little bit of your introduction to this experience that is now this fitness game.
Absolutely. I'm first off blown away. I'm so glad that Kimberly shared her story. I was getting watery eyed just as she was sharing that, because the passion and seeing that how her life changing experience led to changing other people's lives. And that's what I think about when I think about my childhood. And, you know, growing up in the Midwest, I grew up in a household where you didn't get up from the table until you cleaned your plate, like period. And I was overweight. A lot of my family members are overweight, struggling with diabetes and hypertension and high blood pressure and things like that. And so for me, I always wanted to change that, even as a young kid. And my nickname used to be Buddha because I had the round belly, round face. And I used to hate it. I was like, oh my gosh, if they don't stop calling me that. But I started to start just working out, started to get more active, started to live a different lifestyle, but I didn't have all of the knowledge, didn't have all of the information, but I was seeking it. I was always seeking that information and that knowledge. And so fast forward to, you know, becoming an athlete, playing sports, playing football in college and things like that, I still didn't know all of the information. I didn't know about nutrition. I didn't know about, you know, all of the systems and training. I had some injuries that happened and things that I was trying to overcome on my journey. And being able to get the knowledge to not only help myself, but then now be in a place where I can help family members. I can see other people transform. And then, you know, with ISSA, being able to now see trainers transform other people's lives, just hearing Kimberly, the way that she's helping so many other people, it's like a springboard where now other people, it's like that domino effect almost, where you have this vision of the change that I want to see in my own life. And, you know, sometimes like it can take you out of depression. It can take you out of, you know, frustration, not thinking that you're worthy or that, you know, that you can overcome something. to then having you become that inspiration for somebody else that keeps them motivated, that keeps them inspired, that maybe keeps them going. And so that's really what gets me excited. I mean, I'm so pumped up to be, talking to you both, but to also just hear Kimberly's testimony. And it truly blesses me. And it's literally why I do what I do at ISSA, why we share wellness, and why we want to really help educate other people so that they can essentially help the next person live a healthier life, live longer, be able to play with their kids, or see that grandparent, that 90th birthday, whatever that may be that you're pushing towards, being able to see and experience that.
It's funny because to hear you say that, one thing that jumps out at me with what you've said and what Kimberly has already touched on, and that's this point of the continuing unfoldment. This is not just a story that came and went and it just, it's not. It's still continuing to unfold. And just as Kimberly was, met with some challenges, got herself to a place where she was willing to accept the responsibility and to look and develop the means within herself. Something